back to HCI's Malnutrition and Cancer. Today we're going to be talking about some cooking skills as well as food safety skills. So let's get started. Let's take a look at the recipe we're making today. It's a 1-pan chicken and feta pasta. Notice that this recipe includes cooking raw chicken. So that means we need to check the internal temperature of the chicken to ensure it reaches 165 degrees Fahrenheit before taking it out of the oven. This ensures that it's completely cooked through and safe to eat. Cooking to the proper temperature is important because foods can carry germs that put you in danger of infection or illness, especially while going through cancer treatment and being immunocompromised. So I'm going to wash my hands before we start chopping the vegetables, and then we'll get into the recipe even more. While we're cooking, we want to make sure and wash our hands pretty often. You'll want to start before starting to cook by washing your hands for 20 seconds with soap under warm water. Also, keep in mind you want to wash your hands before and after touching raw meat, poultry, or fish, before chopping fruits or vegetables, and before eating. So here I'm actually rinsing off my vegetables for this dish. You do want to rinse your fruits and vegetables before eating or cooking under running water. You can also scrub fruits and vegetables with a firm skin with a brush and rinse under water even if you're peeling them. This can help prevent getting anything on the outside of those fruits and vegetables onto the inside and prevent foodborne illness. Don't forget to wash your hands, knives, and countertops before and after you prepare food. So when we are using a knife, we want to pinch the handle between our thumb and pointer finger. With your other hand, you'll make a claw to protect your fingers from the knife as you are cutting. I like to make stabilizing cuts to ensure that my food does not roll around while I try to cut it. With the onion, you'll cut off the top, turn it on its flat side, and then cut down the middle, leaving the root end attached. Now we have our onion peeled and cut in half. We are going to again make a claw with our other hand and pinch the knife with our cutting hand. I like to leave the root end of the onion on to keep the layers together as we cut and dice the onion. You'll make cuts down into the onion, leaving the root end attached. Sometimes you might have to stabilize the onion as you cut these layers. Just keep your fingers away from the knife blade. So then we're ready to dice. Turn the onion and cut by rocking the knife blade up and down over the onion while keeping your fingers away from the knife. And now you've diced an onion. All right, so I have a quick tip for you. If you are chopping a lot of vegetables, it's really nice to have one of these choppers. They're easily available at online retailers, and you just stick that in and chop your onion. So you can see in a couple quick steps, I have chopped those onions. So let's prep the rest of the vegetables. I decided to add in mini bell peppers and onions I had left over in my fridge to the recipe because it's a nice way to use up vegetables that you already have, and you even add more flavor, vitamins, and minerals, making your meal more nutrient dense. So feel free to add whatever you have in your fridge that sounds good to you and roast those up with your other vegetables. For the peppers, you'll chop off the top and turn the flat side you just created onto the cutting board. Then you can cut right down the middle. And you can take out the seeds with the knife, or you can use your hands. Also remember to keep in mind that you want to continue to use your claw as you dice the peppers. Another quick option would be using the dicer that I showed you earlier. For the tomatoes, I'm holding them on either side and cutting them in half. When you are cutting tomatoes, keep in mind you want to have a sharp knife because if it's dull, your knife may slip. You'll notice that it's a lot harder to cut them. Now we are ready to mince our garlic. I like to cut off the root end and smash the garlic clove with the side of my knife and the heel of my hand. This helps the peel come off really easily. Then you can use a microplane, which is a small grater, to mince the garlic. You can mince it with your knife, or you can use a garlic press, which I'm using a version of today. Or to make your life even easier, buy pre-chopped garlic, and then all you have to do is measure it out. So now we have all the ingredients prepped, so we're going to get those into the pan. First, I'm going to put in the feta, and then the garlic. Next, I'm going to put in the vegetables, the tomatoes, peppers, and onions. Of course, you can use whatever you have, and I like to put extra in here because it allows me to have leftovers as well as vegetables to top other dishes. Next, I'm going to put in the Italian seasoning, which I've pre-measured out. and some olive oil to drizzle over. I'm going to squeeze on some lemon juice and put that lemon into the pan. Let's get this in the oven to roast and caramelize. Remember, many vegetables are more flavorful when roasted, and roasting is pretty hands-off once you get everything chopped and mixed together with some oil and seasonings. So that can be a super great option to prep some vegetables at the beginning of the week. All right, so we're gonna add our pasta in. Today, I actually chose to do a gluten-free chickpea pasta. It has a lot of protein in it, so that's also nice, as well as fiber. You can also go with like a whole wheat option. You can do kind of whatever option you have. You can even choose a different type, like shape of pasta. So we're gonna get that going in our water. I wanted to add in some tips for getting in meals at home during treatment. One of them is, before you start, lay out all those ingredients and tools that you'll need. It'll make cooking a lot faster. So if you're feeling tired, it goes really quickly. Whip up a bit more for seconds or to spice up a future dish. So double your recipes and simplify your life. Go for pre-chopped ingredients like garlic, a vegetable mix, or frozen vegetables. And while you have friends and family over, ask them to prepare you a meal or to prep the ingredients for you. Let's check the temperature of our chicken using a meat thermometer. We want to make sure it's reached 165 degrees Fahrenheit. I checked the thickest part of the chicken breast because that's going to take the longest to cook, and I like to check multiple spots. Remember, we want to make sure meat, poultry, and eggs are cooked thoroughly. Meat should not have any pink inside either. Look up the minimum temperatures for the type of meat you're cooking because temperatures vary. So we're ready to slice our chicken after it is rested for a couple minutes. This helps the chicken stay nice and juicy. If you notice any pink inside, you will want to cook the chicken longer to ensure it's cooked through. Now, while you're plating your dish, use tongs or utensils to plate for your loved ones. Another tip is to make sure to put your leftovers in the fridge right away and eat them within 3 days. Finally, avoid eating any perishable foods that have been at room temperature for longer than 2 hours. Thanks for joining me today, and enjoy your pasta.